Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're doing another last to first challenge here on MotoGP 20. Of course, this weekend is the Austrian GP, so that's why we're here at Austria, and I'm playing as Brad Binder in this one, obviously, because he won at the Czech GP last time out. So we get a 35% race to start from the back, which around here, obviously because it's such a short circuit, is 10 laps. So there's actually quite a bit of time to get from 22nd. The goal, of course, is to try and get into first position. Now, the AI actually aren't too good around this circuit, so hopefully we should be able to take advantage of that and be able to get through the order quite quickly. So without any further ado then, let's start this race and let's see how we get on.
The riders have just completed the sighting lap and are lined up on the Red Bull Ring straight. Very little time is left until the start of another Austrian Grand Prix.
So then Viñales on pole, Dovi second, Nakagami in third. So I think I might accidentally have some sort of performance mod on, I'm not too sure. But we're waiting for the lights to go here then at Austria. Lights and away we go. Bradley Smith and Tito are back just in front of me then. As we go down towards the first corner, there's Alex Marquez. As we hit the brakes for the first corner, trying to go around the outside. Not quite been able to do it there, so we're still behind Lecuona, so actually still in last position. But like I said, there's plenty of laps to try and get through the order, so hopefully we should be able to do that without any problems. So swapping to the right hand side then, as we hit the brakes. Nice and early. There's Bagnaia just in front of us as we go through this corner. So I've not got any mods on to remove Bagnaia or Marc Marquez or anything like that this week. Obviously I did last time, but they've been replaced now. Well, Marquez had been replaced last week, but I was playing as his replacement. So we're past Morbidelli then, hitting the brakes. Quartararo is quite far down the order, trying to go around the outside of Quartararo. A bit of a stoppy there. We've actually been kind of hung out to dry a little bit. So we're back down into 16th place, but we've still made up quite a few positions. Bagnaia is back through as well, so we hit the brakes nice and early for this turn 6. Round the outside goes Alex Marquez, but I don't think he's going to be able to hold it in there if we get back on the power again. He's still side by side with us actually. I am a bit surprised by that. He's had to run a little bit wide, give us a bit of room. So we flick the bike over then through 13. The rear is sliding a lot as we go down the straight towards the penultimate turn, hitting the brakes nice and early. Are we going to have an attack into the last corner? No, not quite. I was going to hit into the back of Bagnaia if I went for that. Through the last corner, then hitting that curb a little bit. Bit of a slide from the rear end. So the first lap then, not too bad of a first lap. 17th place. Could have been a bit better, but hit the brakes then for the first corner, going round the outside of Pecco Bagnaia. Oh, Bagnaia. Bagnaia just keeping in front of us. Well, actually, just dropping behind us, sorry. But he's still there, hanging it out there, side by side with Bagnaia. Hitting the brakes nice and late then, and we're going to get the inside of Morbidelli into this corner. I don't think so. Is Bagnaia going to come back up the inside? Not quite. It's a bit of crash. Oh, Bagnaia's gone down. So then obviously he must have tried to catch us up on the brakes and he's lost the front. We need to start making some more progress here. So hitting the brakes nice and late past Morbidelli. Joan Mir up next and Aleix Espargaro just ahead of him. We go very tight through turn 4. Clip that curb. That curb was very, very steep actually. We could have crashed on that curb. Luckily we didn't. Mir and Espargaro side by side. Obviously Aleix Espargaro, not our teammate Paul. Through turn 6 then, trying to get on the power. Just a little bit too far behind to do anything, but Aleix has gone a little bit wide through 7 on the power. Side by side with Aleix flicking the bike over. I got a bit of a wheelie on there, so that's definitely not helped. Can we get some substitute and try and pass him in these last couple of corners to go to the penultimate turn then? Can we go around the outside of Aleix? Tried it around the outside. Oh, just keeping it on the curb. And we've just got in front of Aleix. The front went then into that last corner. Luckily I let off the brake. So Dovizioso then 24.4. What will I have done on this lap? 25.2. So we've got to up the pace a little bit here as we hit the brakes then once again for the first corner. But the group in front is just one big pack. So no one's actually getting away in front, which is nice to see. So we can afford to lose a little bit more time fighting with these riders, but I would like to try and get through quickly. Here we go to the right hand side of Joan Mir, then hitting the brakes. Past Mir, we've actually cut him up a little bit there. We're close up to Quartararo, up the inside of Quartararo. Not quite going to be able to do that, but on the exit, can we do it? Yes, we can. So we've passed Fabio Quartararo now up into 12th place. Miguel Oliveira just ahead of us, and in the slipstream of Oliveira down towards turn 4. Considering we're on both the KTMs, we had a lot more speed than him. I think we just got a much better exit. As we go into turn 4, then we've ran a little bit wide. Paul Espargaro now ahead of us. Danilo Petrucci just in front of him. So Paul not quite doing as well in this race as he has been this weekend. Obviously he's pretty much been the fastest rider. Obviously not in qualifying, but the rest of the weekend he has pretty much been the fastest rider. So we go through turn 7, and I've actually gone a little bit hot So that might affect my run a little bit, flicking the bike through turn 8. Then the rear is really sliding now, but it's not getting overheated. That is the important part. I think tyre wear is actually off. And fuel consumption's off as well, I've just realised. Oh. Yeah, that's quite a big mistake. I hadn't even noticed that. But there we go then. No tyre wear, no fuel consumption. I guess it's because I was doing a 3-lap race last time I did a race here. And last time I did a race in Grand Prix mode, I think I was just getting a screenshot for something, so I just did a 3-lap race. Oh, that's actually quite annoying then, because the tyre wear usually has a big part on these challenges then. But we're in the slipstream. We're going to go to the left-hand side. I'll make sure to try and still use some power mode 0 later on in the race to sort of emulate the fuel burn. Then as we hit the brakes then, we've gone a little bit wide through turn 3, but Paul hasn't been able to get back through luckily. So up into the top 10 now. It's actually taken us almost half the race, because we're on lap 4 now. And we'll be on to lap 5, I'm sure, before we're on to the back of Petrucci, so I do actually need to get a bit of a move on here. So here we go then at the end of this lap. Miller doing the fastest lap, 24.3. I've just done a 23.6, so we have picked up the pace a little bit now. Danilo Petrucci, of course, is the next rider as we go into the first corner, then trying to get on the power as early as we can. That's actually a really good turn 1. We've nailed that one. So in the slipstream of Danilo Petrucci, then we might be able to make a move into turn 3, but the power of that Ducati in the slipstream he's got as well is allowing him to get away. But on the brakes into turn 3, we should be able to outbrake him by quite a way up the inside. We go then, try and get a good exit, see if we can maybe make a move on Rins on the exit. Not quite got the exit to maybe do that, but we could maybe have a dive into turn 4. We got in front of Petrucci fairly easily anyway. So we hit the brakes then for turn 4. I'm looking at the inside, I'm just going to go for it anyway on the brakes. Hop, skipping and jumping on the way in there. Rins had to leave us a space because obviously we dived at the inside. So up it's 8th position now then. The 2 LCR boys just in front of us. The leaders are starting to stretch away a little bit now, but obviously no tyre wear or anything like that. So we should be able to run the same sort of pace throughout the entirety of the race. Which I didn't do on purpose. I genuinely didn't realise that the fuel consumption and tyre wear were off. It kind of annoys me how when you do a shorter race at 3 laps it just turns that off. You should be able to either still have it on or it should lock it to off for that, but then put it back on when you turn up to the race distance. It's kind of annoying. But there we go then into the last corner. I made a bit of a mistake there through that corner. I think I went a little bit wide, maybe onto the green. What's the time this time? So 23.8, so again quite a bit quicker than that AI in front, I'm sure. Around the outside of Cal on the brakes, so actually pulled that one off. But the rear is sliding quite a bit, but he's not quite been able to get back underneath us. He might get the run on the run up towards turn 3, but Takaki Nakagami just ahead of us. I can hear Cal Crutchlow behind. Since we hit the brakes for turn 3, I'm not close enough to make a move on Nakagami just yet. Getting a good exit though, side by side with Nakagami. Got the power down, that was an easy move. He went a bit wide, didn't get a very good exit. I got a really good one, so we're in front of Nakagami now, up into the top 6. So the top 5 just in front of us now. I think Dovizioso in the lead is stretching away a little bit. Vinales second, Marquez third, Rossi fourth, and Miller in 5th position. So out the last corner, then up towards the line to complete lap 6. 60% of the race done, 23.5. So another new fastest lap of the race then. Miller is next. Can we try and get him through turn 3? That would be ideal. Actually, we've got a really good exit through 1. That was really good, but we did get a little bit hooked up on the curb on the exit, and I might have actually gone a little bit onto the green, but luckily we lost time from that, so that's quite good. But will we be able to launch up the inside to turn 3? It looks like we can. We're close up to Valentino as well. I don't want to hit into the back of Valentino, but we haven't. We've not quite gained that much on Rossi, so that is good. So up into 5th place, then into the top 5. Valentino Rossi up next, then Marc Marquez, then Vinales, and then we've got to try and catch up to Dovizioso, but we are running out of time to do that, so we have got to try and pass these 3 as quickly as possible. So here we go then, about to start the 8th lap, 23.7, so another really good lap there around the outside of Rossi on the brakes into the first corner. We've had to go in very deep to try and do that then. So Marquez up next, can we try and pass Marc as well on this straight sort of down towards turn 3, and then if I can get a good exit off turn 3, maybe I can look at passing Vinales into turn 4, but it's going to have to be some brave moves here. So late on the brakes through 3, very, very, very late indeed on the brakes. Got the inside of Marc Marquez, and we've done it. We've actually got it stopped really well, so that actually might allow us to get a good exit. We are close up to Vinales, so we might be able to do the 3 of these in just over a sector. I'm going to have to go for it into turn 4 on Vinales anyway. On the brakes, up the inside of Vinales. I've hop, skipped and jumped again on the way in, but we've actually managed to get it stopped. So we're up to 2nd position now then on the 8th lap. So we're going to give ourselves 2 and a bit laps to catch up to Dovizioso. 2.1 seconds. We are going to have to be rapid here to catch him up. I'm not sure we're going to quite be able to do it, you know, but I'm going to give it everything I've got anyway. So it's about to start the penultimate lap then. 23.0 on that lap. 2 seconds now, the gap. So it's about to start the final lap of the race then. 23.1, 1.2 seconds. I don't think we're going to quite be able to do it, unfortunately. Hard on the brakes into turn 3. We are closing up on Dovizioso, but I think I've gone in a little bit too hot. Probably have. But he's got a little bit wide as well. How close are we to him now? We're so close to the back of him. He gains a little bit on the edge of that corner there. If we can close up a little bit through turn 4 as well, we could be right in. Maybe a dive into the last corner. Perhaps, I'm not too sure. But he's right there. Dovizioso's right in front of us. But through this third sector, the AI is so good. He can match me easily. Half a second still Dovizioso has got. 4/10 as we go into the penultimate turn then. Close it right up to Dovizioso. Down towards the final turn. We're going for the inside of Dovi, but we couldn't quite get it there. So Dovizioso's just going to hang on to win here in Austria. We were right behind him. I went for the dive, but I just wasn't close enough to be able to do it cleanly. In fairness to Dovi, he has a very good pace there. 23.7 is quite a good lap for an AI. If you see, none of the others are outside the 24, so that was a good lap there for Dovizioso, but oh, we got so close to Dovizioso, enough to almost dive up the inside. To think if there was probably a place in the race where we didn't make a mistake or something like that, we probably could have got Dovizioso there. We would have been enough to just lunge up the inside and just squeeze him out and just then get on the power like he did obviously to Marc Marquez last year. We were so close to that dive. We were level with him sort of at the apex, but I had to brake some more and not accelerate through, otherwise I would have just clattered into the side of Dovizioso. But I'm quite happy with that still. I'm disappointed that I didn't have the tyre and the fuel, the tyre wear and the fuel consumption on, but it was still a good race anyway. I think it probably was slightly better because of that. I think it is more fun doing these challenges for 35% races. 50% it would have been pretty easy. I would have caught him, I would have passed him, I would have pulled away for ages, but 35%, it's actually around the time where you're literally just about to catch them is the final lap. So I actually am quite liking doing it with 35% races. Let's see how other people got on then. Don't think there was any crashes in this race. No glitches either in terms of the timings. So that is always nice. I think most of that race would have been shown in the video, to be fair, because I was talking for most of it. There was action for most of it. There was a couple of laps here and there where there wasn't too much, like when I was catching up to some of the riders or things like that. But most of the race was pretty chaotic, obviously having to try and pass as many people as I could. My first lap wasn't great, I'll admit that it wasn't the best lap out there. But we did make up for it. I mean, that lap where we passed Rossi, Marquez and Viñales all within about 30 seconds of each other, that was quite a good lap. Around the outside of Rossi through the first corner, and then up the inside of Marquez into turn 3, and then up the inside of Viñales into turn 4. It was quite a good section of the race, that one. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that video. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.